Welcome to TruPowur, home of the most powerful marketing tools, training, and technology on planet Earth. Get ready to earn, enjoy, and experience more than you ever dreamed was possible. If you're tired of just getting by and ready to really thrive, then buckle in and listen up. Here's your host, Matt Fox.
Welcome to TruPowur Academy. Today we are going to be talking about igniting your independence and becoming a sales revolutionary, empowering entrepreneurs to claim their financial freedom by helping others do the same, and the celebration of TruPowur's 18th anniversary this coming July 7th, rewriting your own 1776 moment. In 1776, a group of everyday people made a world-changing choice. They refused to be ruled by limitations any longer. They stood up, took a risk, and declared their independence. That single decision sparked a revolution that reshaped the future. Today, that same spirit burns in the heart of every entrepreneur who dares to say, "I want more freedom, more control, more purpose, more life." Your personal 1776 moment may not involve muskets or redcoats, but make no mistake, it's just as revolutionary. It's the moment you stop settling and start building something of your own, the moment you choose courage over comfort and action over excuses. Selling with TruPowur isn't just about income. It's about independence. It's your declaration that you will no longer be held back by what others say is possible. You're here to break free, to rewrite the rules, and to create a future on your own terms. This is your revolution. Freedom isn't given, it's taken. Our forefathers didn't politely ask the British for freedom. They didn't wait around for permission or a convenient moment. They stood up, drew the line, and declared it boldly. We will be free. Then they owned it, they fought for it, and they built a new world from the ground up. That same fire runs through every driven salesperson today. Because in this game, freedom isn't handed out. It's earned through grit, courage, and relentless action. In sales, you don't wait for opportunity to knock. You build the door. You show up when others hit snooze. You speak up when others stay silent. You follow up when others give up. Every call you make, every objection you overcome, every life you impact, it's not just about the sale. It's about staking your claim, not just for a paycheck, but for your future, for your time, your family, your legacy. When you help someone take control of their energy bill, their business, or their goals, you're helping them take back a piece of their freedom too. This isn't just sales. This is a movement. This is your stand. Because freedom isn't given, it's taken. And you're here to take yours. Selling equals serving equals setting others free. Too many people think sales is just about closing deals, but those of us who get it, we know it's about something far greater. It's about opening doors that people didn't even know were there. When you help someone save money on their utility bills, you're not just trimming costs, you're giving them breathing room, financial peace, and the ability to say yes to more of what matters. When you introduce someone to the power of residual income, you're not just handing them an opportunity. You're giving them a path to reclaim their time, to be present, to break free from the grind. When you guide someone to build their own business, you're not just sharing a product or platform. You're changing their future. You're giving them ownership, purpose, and the courage to dream again. Because the truth is this: options are the currency of freedom. And every time you serve someone with integrity, passion, and heart, you're handing them a new option, a better one. That's the mission of TruPowur, not just to sell, not just to earn, but to empower, to help people take back control of their time, their income, and their lives. You're not just building a business. You're building freedom, one conversation at a time, redefining the American dream. Once upon a time, the American dream was simple and limiting. Get a job, work hard for 40 years, Retire on 40% of what you couldn't live on in the first place. It was a dream built on survival, not on freedom. Security, not significance. Stability, but at the cost of time, passion, and possibility. But the world has changed, and so have we. Today, a new American dream is rising, and it's not about clocking in, burning out, and waiting for someday. It's about building something meaningful now. It's about living life by design, not by default. It's about creating income that works while you sleep, impact that lasts beyond the paycheck, and freedom that doesn't have to wait until 65. At TruPowur, we don't just chase dreams, we help others build them. We empower people to take ownership of their time, their income, and their future. We turn conversations into opportunities. We turn sales into service. We turn purpose into a paycheck. Because the real dream isn't just to make a living, it's to make a difference. To live life on your own terms, and to bring others with you. This is the new American dream. And we're building it, one person at a time. Are you a modern-day patriot? Fight for the future because your customers need you. Patriots don't wait, they lead. The founding fathers weren't career politicians or lifelong revolutionaries. They were everyday men, farmers, lawyers, blacksmiths, tradesmen, people with families, struggles, and full lives. But when the time came, they answered a higher calling. They didn't wait for the system to change. They became the change. What set them apart wasn't their status, it was their conviction. They saw injustice and stood up. They saw bondage and chose liberty. They saw fear and chose courage anyway. And that same spirit lives in you. You don't need someone's permission to rise. You don't need the economy to be perfect or every detail figured out. You don't need a title to be a leader. Because leadership isn't a position, it's a decision. When you pick up the phone with a purpose, when you introduce someone to a new path, when you believe in the mission more than the moment, you are stepping into leadership. TruPowur isn't just about sales, it's about sparking movements. One conversation, one choice, one leader at a time. The world doesn't need more people waiting for change. It needs more people willing to be the change. Patriots don't wait, they lead, and history remembers those who do. Every pitch is a revolutionary act. When you present TruPowur, you're not just selling a product, you're not twisting arms or closing deals, you're offering freedom. And that makes every pitch a revolutionary act. You're inviting someone to see their world differently, to realize they don't have to stay stuck in the same cycle, to recognize that there is another way, and it starts with a single choice. You're inviting them to save money on something they already pay for, energy, without changing their lifestyle, earn income through what they already do naturally, sharing with friends, referring others, building trust through their network, build a legacy that lasts longer than a paycheck, a system that works for them, and a future they can pass on to the next generation. At the same time, you're helping liberate them from crippling utility bills that eat away at their income month after month, fixed incomes that place a ceiling on what they can earn no matter how hard they work, jobs that drain their energy and cap their potential, creativity, and time. In a world that teaches people to accept what they're given, you're the one offering a new way forward. Every pitch is more than a transaction. It's an invitation to freedom. Every conversation is a crack in the old system. Every yes is a spark of revolution in someone's life. So don't underestimate the power of what you do. Because when you lead with heart and truth, you don't just make a sale, you start a movement. You're not just selling, you're leading a movement. The American Revolution didn't happen because of a single battle or one great speech. It happened because ordinary people adopted an extraordinary mindset. They realized they didn't have to accept the way things were. They didn't wait to be saved. They became the shift. That same spirit is alive today, not on a battlefield, but in the marketplace. Not with muskets, but with meaningful conversations that challenge the status quo and offer real freedom. At TruPowur, we're not just building a team, we're building a mission-driven army, a group of everyday people who said, I want more and I want to help others get more too. We don't just sell a service, we sell transformation, we sell empowerment, we sell freedom, not just from high bills, but from limited thinking, capped income, and unfulfilled potential. When you speak to someone, you're not pitching a product, you're raising awareness, you're shining a light on what's possible. You're showing them that the system isn't fixed, it's just familiar, and that they have the power to break free, earn more, live differently, starting with one decision. Your job isn't just to hit numbers. Your job is to lead, to share the truth, to give people a better path, one they can walk with you. This isn't just business, it's a movement, and every time you speak up, step up, and serve, you're leading it. Sales is service. Service is honor. In every generation, there are people who rise, not because it's easy, but because it's right. Patriots don't run from challenges. They face them head on. Not for glory, but for service. Not for comfort, but for conviction. And in this business, you are that kind of leader. Sales isn't about pressure or persuasion, it's about purpose. At TruPowur, sales is how we serve. We don't knock on doors to make noise, and we knock to open them. We don't talk to people to hit a quota. We talk to spark change. You serve by showing up, even when it's hard. You serve by making the call, even when they might say no. You serve by believing in people, often more than they believe in themselves. And you serve by holding the vision until they can see it for themselves. That is an honor. You're not just selling electricity or income potential. You're offering a new mindset, a new future, a new level of freedom. So be proud of what you're doing. Be bold in how you do it, because you're not pushing something on people. You're pulling them toward a better life. You're a guide, a builder, a patriot of possibility. And in a world full of noise, fear, and confusion, you are the calm voice of clarity and courage. Sales is service. Service is an honor, and what you're doing matters. Weapons of influence armed with value is the TruPowur arsenal. Every revolution requires tools, so does sales. Passion sparked the American Revolution, but it wasn't won by passion alone. It took strategy, it took coordination, it took the right tools placed in the right hands at the right time. From alliances with key leaders to carefully timed messages and precise action, freedom wasn't just fought for emotionally, it was engineered intelligently. The same is true in sales. As a TruPowur leader, you're not stepping into conversations unarmed. You're stepping in equipped, backed by an arsenal of value that turns curiosity into clarity and hesitation into action. You carry facts that dismantle doubt, hard-hitting numbers, proof of savings, industry insight. You don't need to convince. The truth speaks for itself when you know how to share it with confidence. Stories that stir belief, real people with real results, testimonials that inspire, moments that remind others, if they can do it, maybe I can too. Opportunities that create action, whether it's saving money, building residual income, or finally stepping into entrepreneurship, you offer something real, timely, and powerful. You're not just selling, you're arming others with possibility. You're not pushing products, you're positioning people for freedom. Every great revolution needed more than fire, it needed focus. And every successful sale isn't just a transaction, it's a turning point for someone's life. So load up your tools, your truth, your heart, your boldness, and go lead. Because every revolution requires the right tools, and you've got exactly what this one needs. Knowledge is power, and you have it. In every great shift, from revolutions to innovations, it's not brute force that changes the game, it's knowledge. And in the world of energy, you hold the key to unlocking that knowledge for others. Most people have no idea that they live in a deregulated energy market, that they've been paying their utility company for years, assuming it's their only option. But here's the truth: they have a choice, and your job isn't to pressure them. Your job is to educate them. Because when you explain the system clearly, you're not selling, you're empowering. You're giving people the ability to take control of something they've been told is out of their hands. That's real power. But to do that effectively, you need to own your expertise, know the industry, understand how deregulation works and where it applies, be able to explain it in plain, simple terms. Know your product, be crystal clear on what TruPowur offers, how it works, and how it benefits your customers. Know your pricing. Confidence in your numbers builds confidence in your offer. Know your edge. What makes TruPowur different? Why should they choose you? Own your value and communicate it with conviction. Study the markets you serve. Learn about your state or region's deregulation laws and current energy trends so you can speak from a place of insight, not just enthusiasm. And use relatable analogies to simplify the message. Think of it like your cell phone. You don't have to stay with one provider forever. You can shop for better coverage, better rates, or better service. Energy works the same way in a deregulated market. You still get the same power, but you choose who supplies it. And that choice could save you hundreds or even thousands over time. Remember, information transforms. And when you bring truth to the table, you're not just talking about energy. You're opening people's eyes to a new kind of freedom. Knowledge is power, and when you share it with clarity and purpose, you become unstoppable. Confidence is your currency. In sales, it's never just about the product or the price. People don't buy what you sell, they buy your belief in what you're selling. Your confidence is the currency that moves deals forward. It's the energy that turns hesitation into trust, questions into commitments, and curiosity into action. To harness that power, you need to be crystal clear on how TruPowur impacts your life, because your story is the foundation of your conviction. How does TruPowur fuel your financial freedom? Whether it's paying bills, saving for family, or investing in your dreams, your own success makes your message real. How does it align with your lifestyle goals? More time with loved ones, more control over your schedule, more of what matters on your terms. How does it support your mission to help others? Every client you bring in is someone you've empowered, someone you've freed from high costs, limited income, or dead end jobs. When your tone is steady and your words reflect certainty, something powerful happens. Their doubts fade away. Their questions become opportunities to affirm, not to resist. Your confidence becomes contagious because belief is magnetic. And when you truly believe in TruPowur, you don't just sell a service, you inspire a movement. So own your story, speak with boldness, let confidence be the currency you trade, and watch how it transforms every conversation into a breakthrough. Stories sell what stats can't. Numbers on a spreadsheet can show facts and figures, but they rarely move hearts. Statistics might impress the mind, but stories captivate the soul. People don't just want to know what your product does, they want to know how it changes lives. They want to feel the relief, the breakthrough, the joy, and the freedom that comes from transformation. That's why stories sell what stats can't. When you share a story, you're not just selling energy savings or business opportunities, you're painting a picture of real people overcoming real struggles. Share transformation stories that resonate. She went from living paycheck to paycheck to earning residual income that supports her family, all by sharing TruPowur with people she already knew. He was laid off unexpectedly, but instead of despairing, he turned that pain into power by building a TruPowur business, and today he's more secure than ever. These stories hit emotional turning points that statistics alone can't capture. The relief of a bill paid on time without stress. The breakthrough moment when someone realizes they can control their income. the freedom to choose how to spend their time and money, the confidence that comes with a new purpose, the security of a steady residual income. When you tell these stories with heart, your prospects don't just hear, they feel. And it's feelings that inspire decisions, spark action, and create lasting change. Remember, facts inform, but stories transform. So don't just lead with numbers, lead with the people behind the numbers. Lead with the stories that bring your mission to life. Use emotion plus logic equals irresistible impact. When it comes to persuading others, neither emotion nor logic alone is enough. Emotion stirs the heart, but can lack direction. Logic appeals to the mind, but can miss the connection. The true power lies in combining both, crafting a message that touches deeply and convinces clearly. Emotion. You deserve more than just getting by. You deserve financial freedom, the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're in control of your future. You deserve options, the power to choose how you live, work, and spend your time. You deserve a life built on hope, possibility, and independence. This emotional appeal awakens desire. It opens the door, logic. Now, let me show you the numbers, how much you could save each month on your energy bills, how the referral program can create a steady stream of income growing over time, how this opportunity isn't just a dream, but a practical path backed by real results, transparent pricing, and a supportive community. This logical foundation builds trust. It answers the questions, eases doubts, and paves the way forward. When you blend emotion with logic, you create a message that's irresistible. You speak to their heart's desires and their mind's need for certainty, moving them beyond hesitation into action. This combo transforms prospects from curious thinkers into confident believers, from silent observers into engaged participants. Remember, lead with what they feel, their hopes, dreams, and frustrations. Follow with what they need to know, clear facts, numbers, and a roadmap. This is the formula that turns conversations into commitments and commitments into life-changing transformations. Lighting the fuse. Take bold action. The world needs fire starters. The July 4th without action is just another day. July 4th is celebrated as Independence Day, a symbol of freedom, courage, and new beginnings. But history wasn't made just because people had good ideas or lofty dreams on that day. It was made because someone took decisive, bold action. The Declaration of Independence wasn't just a piece of paper, it was a spark, a call to arms, a call to freedom, a bold statement that said, "We will no longer accept the status quo." That spark ignited a revolution that changed the world. Your own dreams, your plans, your vision, they are no different. They have incredible potential. But without action, they remain just words on a page. You can write the perfect plan. You can dream the biggest dream. You can declare your goals, but until you strike the match, nothing changes. So here's the challenge. Don't just write your declaration. Live it. Speak it boldly. Share it passionately. Fight for it relentlessly. Because the difference between a dream and a revolution is action. Belief without action is like fireworks without a spark. Everyone talks about wanting more freedom, more time, more income, more control over their lives, but talk alone won't get you there, because belief without action is like fireworks without a spark, full of potential but ultimately silent and unseen. You can wish, hope, and dream all day long, but if you don't take that first bold step, nothing lights up, nothing bursts into color or motion. The space between where you are now and where you want to be, that gap, is not bridged by wishful thinking. It's crossed with bold, consistent action, making calls when you'd rather avoid the phone, sending messages even when you feel unsure, inviting people to listen, learn, and explore possibilities, having real conversations that plant seeds of change. No one accidentally builds a business or rewrites their future. You don't stumble into success. You ignite it, one daily decision, one disciplined action at a time. The spark is yours to create. Your belief fuels it, but your action sets it ablaze. So ask yourself, are you ready to light the fuse? Are you ready to turn your belief into unstoppable momentum? Because freedom doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who dare to act. Boldness isn't a mood, it's a muscle. Boldness isn't about being fearless. It's not about waking up one day and magically feeling unstoppable. Boldness is about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's about stepping forward when your heart races, your mind doubts, and your comfort screams, stay put. Because true boldness is a choice, a commitment to action, even when the stakes feel high. Just like any muscle in your body, boldness gets stronger with use. Every time you send that cold message, every time you pick up the phone despite uncertainty, every time you follow up when you don't hear back, you're training your boldness muscle. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Confidence grows not from ease, but from consistent effort. Influence isn't handed to you, it's earned rep by rep, call by call, conversation by conversation. Remember this truth: your comfort zone will never pay you what your courage zone can. If you want results that stretch beyond the ordinary, you have to stretch yourself beyond the comfortable. So keep showing up, keep pushing past hesitation, keep strengthening the muscle of boldness. Because boldness isn't a mood you wait for, it's a power you build. Fire starters create momentum for others. Sometimes all it takes is one conversation, a single moment of connection, to change the course of someone's financial future forever. But the power of that moment goes far beyond the individual. When you light that first spark, you don't just ignite a path for yourself, you ignite a fire in others, a momentum that spreads, grows, and multiplies. You become the catalyst for hope, the belief that a better life is possible even when it feels out of reach. Possibility, opening minds to opportunities they never knew existed or thought they could achieve. Ownership, empowering others to take control of their time, income, and future. That's what a true fire starter does. You don't wait for someone else to lead the way. You take the first step. You spark the first light. You fan the flames of ambition and courage in everyone you touch. Be the person who reignites excitement about what's possible again, for your family, your friends, your community, and beyond. Because momentum isn't just about moving forward, it's about bringing others along and lighting the path for those who follow. When you lead like a fire starter, the impact you create lasts far longer than one conversation. It becomes a movement. You're not just a salesperson, you're a revolutionary. Now, you didn't join TruPowur just to close deals or hit targets. You joined to make a statement, a bold declaration that you are done waiting for permission, done settling for less, and ready to claim your future on your own terms. But you're not doing this journey alone. You're helping others do the same, just like the patriots of 1776, who stood up not only for themselves, but for all those trapped in unfair systems. You are stepping up today, not just for your own freedom, but for everyone still stuck in cycles that no longer serve them, overworked and underpaid, trapped in jobs that drain their potential, overbilled and underinformed, burdened by costs they didn't even know they could control, overwhelmed and overlooked, feeling invisible in a world that demands so much but offers so little. Through your voice, your story, and your offer, you are handing people more than just a product or a chance. You are handing them a match, the spark of hope and possibility, a map, a clear path out of confusion and limitation, and a mission, the purpose to reclaim control, build wealth, and live life by their own design. This isn't just sales, this is revolutionary leadership. You are a beacon for those ready to break free, a guide for those searching for a new way, a warrior for those who've given up hope. So stand tall, speak loudly, act boldly, because this revolution isn't just about business, it's about freedom, and you are leading the charge. Sales at TruPowur is about being the spark that lights someone else's freedom. Take a moment to really think about that. When you step into a conversation, you're not just explaining energy rates or pitching a business model. You're doing something far more powerful. You're offering hope to someone who thought they had none. You're shining a light where there was only darkness. You're giving freedom where they once felt trapped, caught in cycles of high bills, limited income, and no clear way out. You're planting a seed deep in their mind and heart that says, you don't have to live this way anymore. There's another path, a better way. That is no ordinary sales call. That is revolutionary, because true freedom doesn't come from products alone. It comes from awareness, the realization that they have choices, from empowerment, the confidence to take control of their future, from action, the decision to step into something new, something better. Every conversation you have is a spark that can ignite transformation, a spark that can light a fire of change in someone's life. And when enough sparks fly, the darkness fades. When enough people choose freedom, a revolution begins. You're not just selling, you're leading. You're awakening possibility. You're the spark that sets freedom ablaze. This 4th of July, don't just celebrate liberty, sell it. July 4th is more than a holiday. It's a powerful reminder of what freedom truly means. This year, don't just observe liberty. Bring it to life in every conversation you have. Let the spirit of freedom ring loud and clear in your pitch. Speak with boldness, with conviction, and with clarity. Don't water down the truth, because deep down, people are ready. They're ready to be set free from high bills, limited income, and lives stuck on pause. Let courage rise in your conversations like a patriotic anthem. Make the call you've been putting off. Send that message that could change everything. Knock on that door, even when it feels uncertain. Ask the question that opens new doors. The world doesn't reward the hesitant, it rewards the brave. And bravery isn't about being fearless, it's about moving forward despite the fear. Make your impact the fireworks your customers never forget. Light up their lives with new possibilities, new hope, and a vision for something better. Whether they buy, join, or simply listen, make sure they walk away changed, more aware of their options, more empowered to take control, more hopeful about the future. This 4th of July, you're not just selling a service, you're selling liberty. You're lighting the fuse on freedom, one conversation at a time. You are not just building a business, you are building a revolution, a powerful movement fueled by freedom, unwavering belief, and bold opportunity. This is bigger than numbers or sales goals. It's about creating lasting impact, transforming lives, and shaking up the status quo. Every call you make, every message you send, every person you empower is a spark that sets this revolution in motion. You have the power to ignite hope where there was doubt, open doors where there were walls, and light a path toward a future filled with possibility. So go light the fuse. Take action with purpose. Go change a life, maybe many lives, starting with your own. Remember this. Revolutions don't wait for perfect timing or permission. They don't ask for an invitation. They ignite. They roar to life because someone dared to act, to lead, and to believe. Be that someone. Step forward boldly. Fuel the fire of change. Your revolution starts now. As I always say at the end of every training, have fun storming the castle. What does that mean? It means don't just settle for playing it safe or standing on the sidelines. It means charging forward with purpose and passion, breaking down barriers, and claiming what's rightfully yours. It means being bold, fearless, and relentless in pursuit of your goals. Because castles aren't taken by sitting back. They're taken by those who dare to storm the gates. And there's no better time to embrace that mindset than this 4th of July. July 4th isn't just about fireworks and barbecues. It's a celebration of revolution, of people standing up, rising up, and demanding their freedom. It's a reminder that liberty wasn't handed down on a silver platter. It was stormed, fought for, and earned through courage and action. So here's your call to action. Go forth and storm the castle. Take that first step into the unknown. Make that call. Send that message. Knock on that door. Push past doubt, hesitation, and fear. Because just like the patriots who changed history, your boldness today will light the way for your freedom tomorrow. Storm the castle with joy. Storm it with confidence. Storm it with the fierce belief that this is your moment. Have fun storming the castle and let your revolution begin. And have a safe and happy 4th of July.
Ready to dominate the energy market? Dialing for Dollars is your ultimate guide to selling electricity and natural gas contracts with TruPowur's powerful SaaS platform. Learn how to master phone sales, leverage cutting-edge technology, navigate contracts and compliance, and build lasting customer relationships, all while scaling your business in this lucrative, fast-paced industry. Don't wait. Click the link below and get your copy of Dialing for Dollars by Matt Fox today.